fREADom TV. I just have to put these books away. Just like little Puchku, I lost track of time completely. And Mooch was just calling me a bibliophile. But first, I have to put these books away. More on all of that later. See you soon. Bye. Phew. Those were a lot of books. I was so swept up in the story that I completely lost track of time. I was having so much fun. Does that happen to you too? When you're having so much fun that you completely forget about time? That happens to Puchku. Puchku is the little girl in our story today. And she is also a bibliophile. You'll get a clue from the story as to what that word means. But don't worry, Mooch and Mini also will come to explain a little bit more. But let's go find out what's happening with Puchku. Puchku is a small girl with a big love for reading. Puchku loves reading so much that she completely loses track of where she is, what she is doing there, or how she even got there. Early in the morning, Puchku's mummy would yell, "Puchku!" Then her mummy would yell again, "Puchku, put down that book and go take a bath!" But Puchku's face would be buried in the book and she'd take the book along with her to the bathroom. Again her mummy would yell, "Puchku, bath!" And Puchku would quickly close the book, put it away, quickly have a bath and get back to reading. No matter where she was, Puchku loved to read. Whether at the breakfast table, instead of eating, she would be reading. Instead of doing her homework, she would be reading. Instead of going into class or getting on the bus, she would be reading. She loved to read all the time. Her friends, Dodla and Boltu, would try to get her to do other things, but Puchku loved to read. Dodla would tell her, "Come now, Puchku, let's go watch some cartoons." But Puchku was just not interested. She just wanted her book to read. Boltu would ask her, "Why are you reading all the time?" And Puchku would say, "But it's so nice to read. When you start with a curve and it's a letter and another letter and that becomes a word. And when you put it all together, it becomes a sentence. And then whoosh, you're in another world." I love reading books. But then one day, something happened. Puchku had finished reading all the storybooks in the shelves that she could reach. She was a small girl, so she could only reach a few shelves. But all those storybooks she had finished reading. She finished every single chapter of every single book on all of the shelves. Puchku looked around, tried searching, but she had finished reading everything. And she started to cry. That's when she noticed a tall shelf with new books right on top. Puchku got an idea. She had to reach those books. Maybe if I had a washing line, I could climb the rope and reach that shelf. But there's no washing line. Maybe if I took Mummy's sari, I could climb the sari and I'd reach that shelf. But Mummy will scold me. I wish I had a giraffe or a monkey. I'm sure they would help me. Mm, Hmm. That's when she got an idea. Dodla! Boltu! Come fast! And Dodla and Boltu came running to where Puchku is. They saw that Puchku was staring up at that big shelf. They looked at each other. What do you want, Puchku? They asked her. I want to reach that shelf. Come. Dodla, you stay at the bottom. Boltu, you climb on him. And I'll climb on Boltu. Ready? So one by one, Dodla, Boltu and Puchku started climbing with Dodla at the bottom, Boltu in the middle and Puchku slowly climbing up, up, up. Just as she was about to reach the topmost shelf and get the books that she wanted, crash! All three of them fell down. Hearing the noise, the very tall librarian came rushing in. What's happening? What happened? Seeing that very tall librarian, Dodla and Boltu ran away, leaving poor Puchku behind. I want those books on that tall shelf. And the very tall librarian looked at Puchku and said, Oh, is that all? I can help you. And she picked Puchku up, held her up for her to reach, and Puchku took two books. Just before the librarian put her down, she also told Puchku, You can take these books also. I used to love reading these books when I was your age. And she put Puchku down. You were once small like me? Wow. The very tall librarian said, Yes, of course. And I love to read just like you. Don't worry. Anytime that you want help reaching books, you can call me. I'll always be there for you. Before the librarian could finish speaking, Puchku had already buried her face in another book and was cuddled away in a corner in the library. And that was the story of A Book for Puchku. I hope you liked the story. If you want to read the storybook, download the fREADom app. You can read it over there. Bye. See you next time. Hi. Welcome to Books We Love. We love reading just like Puchku. So, we are sharing our love for reading with you by suggesting books that we love. Let's see what books we have today. The first book is King Midas and the Gold. Now, King Midas was a very kind, very generous, but a little greedy when it came to gold. King Midas loved gold very, very much. But he was also a kind king, a compassionate king, a helpful king. And so, one day, when King Midas was going through his kingdom, he met an old man. The old man was lost. So, King Midas, being the kind, compassionate, helpful king that he is, suggested that he help the old man and help the old man by taking him home. When the old man and the king reached the old man's house, the old man told the king that his son was a god and that he would grant any wish he wanted. So, King Midas wished that everything he touched would turn to gold. King Midas was very excited. The first thing he touched was his stick. And lo and behold, the stick turned to gold. He was thrilled. He rushed back home and touched his palace, and the entire palace turned to gold. He was so excited that he couldn't wait to share it with his family. Just then, his most beloved son came rushing to him, and King Midas went to hug him. But as he touched his son turned to gold too. What would he do now? King Midas was very worried. And so, no, I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story. You go find out what happens to King Midas and the gold. I promise you it has a happy ending. But find out how King Midas figures a way out to learn his lesson about not being greedy. That was our first book. Now, our second book is this one. Have you heard of Christopher Robin? No? But I'm sure this little bear is familiar. It's Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin's favorite stuffed pet teddy bear. Now, this story is about Winnie the Pooh and his friends playing all day in Pooh's house. And finally, after they play their game, sing their song, have a lot of fun, they're stuck. They're out of ideas. They don't know what to do next. So, Piglet asks Pooh, "Are you sure you don't know anything?" Piglet is Pooh's friend, huh? Piglet asks Pooh, "Are you sure you don't know anything? You don't have any ideas?" And Pooh thinks for a long time and says that he gets his best ideas when he's eating honey. Now, Pooh Bear loves honey. He loves it so much that his entire house, all the food that he has in his house, is just made up of honey. Honey pots, honey jars, honey bottles, everything. Just honey. So, his friends, Christopher Robin, Piglet, and Tigger go through all his cupboards searching for honey for Pooh to have so that he can get an idea. But when they search through his cupboards, all his jars, all his bottles, everything is empty. So they decide that they are going to go on a honey hunt. And no, I'm not telling you whether they get honey or not. You go find out by reading the book. The story is Pooh's Honey Hunt. The next story is one of my favorite books. It is a little thick, so you can read it when you're older, but remember the book. The book is called Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web. Who do you think the story is about? The story is about a spider named Charlotte who saves the life of her friend Wilbur the pig. Now, this is Fern, and Fern is a little girl who loves animals. She loves animals so much that she loves spending time on a farm. The farm is her uncle's, her Uncle Homer's. Now, Fern first rescues Wilbur when he's born. He's the smallest pig that's born in the litter, and she feels very sad for him, so she takes him and raises him. But when school starts, she can't take care of him. So her parents suggest that she take Wilbur to her Uncle Homer's farm. On the farm, Wilbur meets all the other farm animals. Can you see? A sheep, a goose, and Charlotte. In the pig pen where Wilbur lives, Charlotte also lives in the corner. They become very, very fast, good friends, and soon something happens. Wilbur's life is in danger, but Charlotte comes to the rescue. How does she do it? I won't tell you. Go read the book. This is still one of my favorite books to read. It's a very touching story, and I'm sure you love it. So, those were our books on books we love for this episode. I hope you enjoy reading them. If you want to read many more stories, you can download the fREADom app. See you soon. Bye. Freedom, 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 freedom to be anything I want to be. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Freedom, freedom to read anything that I can see. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. Freedom. Hi, let's have fun with a song. Today we're going to learn the Freedom theme song. Are you ready? Great. Let's start. Freedom. Follow along. Freedom. That's right. Freedom. Freedom. Great. So now you know that anytime freedom comes, you wave your hands in the air. Very good. Okay. Let's try that. Freedom. Freedom. Really great. Now let's go to the next line. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. Good job. Let's try that again. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. Very good. Again. Freedom. Next line. Freedom to be. Same thing. Anything I want to be. Same action, same lyrics, just that the tune is a little bit different. Let's try that again. The second line. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. Really good job. Let's put it all together from the top. Freedom, 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 freedom to be anything I want to be. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. Very good. Now let's go to the next line. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. And we'll repeat that twice. Let's just do the lyrics without the tune and the actions. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Again, I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Very good. Now let's put tune to it. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Good job. Let's try that again. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Again. Now the second time. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Good job. Let's do that again the second time. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Very good. Now let's put it all together. Freedom, 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 freedom to be anything I want to be. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Very good. Now we're almost at the end. Now the last two lines are freedom, freedom to read anything that I can see. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. Freedom. It's just a combination of what you've learned before. So let's put it all together. Okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1, start. Freedom. 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 Freedom to be anything I want to be. Freedom. Freedom to be anything I want to be. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. I've got the freedom to read anything that I can see. Freedom, freedom to read anything that I can see. Freedom, freedom to be anything I want to be. Freedom. Good job. I'm really proud of you. Good job. See you next time on Let's Have Fun. Bye.
Mooch and Mini, Mooch and Mini. Yes. Right with yours. Yes. Mooch and Mini with Mooch and Mini.
Hi, this is Mooch and this is Mini. Welcome to Mooch and Mini with Mooch and Mini.
Oh, that's the
I
voice.
wonder where that came from.
Oh, that must have been our sound guy backstage.
Yeah, he likes to have fun with sounds like how I have fun with numbers.
Oh. Interesting. So,
Yeah.
Mooch, what do you have planned today?
Well, I know you told Jay's story about going to sleep.
Uh-huh.
And it was really good. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks, Mini. I'm really glad you liked it.
We were wondering that maybe
Yeah, we want to go have fun on our own.
we could have fun with words and numbers.
We can have fun on our own with words and numbers all by ourselves.
Oh, so you don't want my help? Oh, well, okay then. I guess I'll see you soon.
Like when her mouth is closed, how our voice is coming from Mooch and Mini.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has he recorded them, and when they are talking, the recording plays?
So
How does that work exactly?
yeah. Is there a machine inside them?
I think I know that it looks like a puppet to me. So I think when they are opening the mouth, it's like this. But I don't know how their voices are coming, because it's just coming directly.
Yeah, and I don't understand if anyone could make a video like that, because I'm not sure. Maybe there's some video shoot inside them.
Maybe. Oh, by the way, did you notice their hair is made out of wool? Oh yeah, they're puppets.
Yeah, they should be puppets. Very. And I think now the funny parts will come.
I think so.
Hey, Mini,
Yeah, Mooch?
what are you thinking about?
Well, I noticed something different in Jay's bathroom from the last time I was there.
His bathroom.
Yeah, his bathroom. There's
His house.
something different. I just want to go see. Can you help spot the differences in Jay's bathroom from the last time I was there?
We'll show you the pictures. Can you help spot the differences?
There's one,
There's 2,
there's 3,
there's 4,
there's 5,
there's 6,
and 7.
That was great.
You have such a keen eye.
Was it them who
Oh,
did
hi,
this
you're right on time. We just finished.
Yeah, we had so much fun spotting all the differences.
Wow, that's great. Did you have fun too?
Yes. Yeah.
How lovely. Well, I'm afraid Mooch and Mini have to go. Time to say goodbye, guys.
Okay, bye.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. See.
So the funny part in Mooch and Jay's bathroom in a very funny voice.
Well, when Minnie said, well, I noticed something different from Jay's bathroom the last time I was there. The Mooch said in a very funny tone, his bathroom?
Like Jay's bathroom.
It was so
Like
funny.
his bathroom. But it's a very funny voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and like,
It was like so surprised, like
Minnie,
his bathroom.
what are
Yeah.
you thinking? And like, Minnie, yes, what are you thinking? That was funny too.
Yeah. Yeah, the voice and you just reacting was very funny. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very nice.
Very nice.
And Gabu is also almost put me into sandwich between her hands. Okay, now I'm in a real sandwich.
Bye. Okay, so now to the next episode.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to Much and Mini with us.
Mooch and Mini.
Hey, Mooch.
Yeah, Mini?
Did I hear right?
What about Mini?
Can a storybook really help you get over your fears?
I guess so.
Well, I'm very scared of spiders.
Oh, you have arachnophobia.
Hey, don't use bad language.
That's not a bad word, silly. Arachnophobia. That's what a fear of spiders is called. Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia?
Phobia means fear. Arachno means spider in Greek.
Oh. Are there other phobias in the world, Mooch? What phobia do you have?
There are lots of phobias, Minnie. I have a fear of the dark. It's called nyctophobia.
Oh, that does sound scary.
But don't worry, Minnie. Most people's phobias go away when they understand them better.
You mean there are
On a
people
funny
who
note,
love
though,
spiders?
there are people who love
Oh,
the things that
what
other
are they
people are
called?
scared of.
Oh, what are they called?
The opposite of a phobia is a phile. Like people who love the dark are called nyctophiles.
You mean there are people who love spiders?
Can you guess what they're called now that you know what the word could be? Why don't you help Minnie figure it out? You know that arachno means spider in Greek. Phile means a love of something. So, what could it be?
Can you help me? Arachnophile, of course.
Great job! Time for us to go.
Oh,
See you
see
next
you next time.
Bye.
That brings us to the end of another episode of fREADom TV. We hope you had a lot of fun. So until next week, bye from Mooch, Mini and me. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.